Hey, ladies, gentlemen, while I work on my car, I want to talk about the most fascinating thing going on today, and that is the Canadian elections here in Canada. If you're like me, you think they're all a bunch of yammering heads. They make a lot of promises. They don't usually follow through on, and they lie their way into government, which is how it seems to work. So we're going to take a look back on Justin Trudeau's career. Love him, hate him. I don't have an opinion on the guy, but I love the comedic gold we're about to jump into. So let's just get right into this.
And what do you and your family do to cut back on plastics?
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of water out of when we have water bottles out of a plastic. Away from plastic towards paper, like drink box water bottles, sort of things.
To the United States. This is where the man who ran on a promise of hope meets the man who ran on a promise of dope.
Justin Trudeau has completely replaced you. He's so handsome, he's so charming. He's the future. And I said, Justin, just give it a rest.
That low-income families don't benefit from tax breaks because they don't pay taxes.
Finish this sentence. Canada will not sell any more weapons to Saudi Arabia, period. I'm sorry, I missed that one.
And over $1 billion of investment in Canada.
Wow, that's pretty good, right? $1 billion invested in Canada, that makes the whole trip worth it.
The Prime Minister actually misspoke there. $250 million to Canada, $750 million to India.
Oops.
We celebrated the 100th anniversary of Canadian Confederation.
Actually, it's 150 years old, Justin.
I personally think at the G7, he's considered a lightweight. I'm sorry these are harsh words, but Canadians have to look at themselves in the mirror and say, can't we do better than this? Anything would be better. I don't think he's a corrupt, immoral person. He's just very inept at managing. He's a bad manager. He's a bad fiduciary. He doesn't have any skill sets. He's never experienced what it's like to manage such a complex thing as the Canadian economy.
You're Andrew Scheer. You may pick any leader of your choice and ask any question of your choosing. You have 30 seconds.
Mr. Trudeau, you broke ethics laws twice. You interfered in an ongoing criminal court proceeding. You shut down parliamentary investigations into your corruption, and you fired the only two people in your caucus who were speaking out against what you were trying to do just for telling the truth. Tell me, when did you decide that the rules don't apply to you?
And that's why it's so heartbreaking for me to look at you today and know you could have done so much more the last 4 years. Please, God, you don't get a majority this time around because you don't keep your promises.
From the times he put blackface on. Because the fact of the matter is, he's always wearing a mask.
Because honestly, Mr. Prime Minister, I was prepared to be injured in the line of duty when I joined the military. Nobody forced me to join the military. I was prepared to be killed in action. What I wasn't prepared for, Mr. Prime Minister, is Canada turning its back on me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make this a political channel. I was finished watching the debates last night, and they were absolutely terrible because I think here in Canada, we don't even focus on the real problems. As many Canadians know, we're talking real estate, the fact that middle class is being pushed out of this country. On top of that, guys, marijuana was a friggin' disaster, and nobody even brought any of that up on helping loosen regulation, maybe stopping the fact that we keep lowering interest rates, giving all these programs out. Came all the way down here to check the mail, and there is no mail, but that doesn't matter. So I think they should have just focused more on what Canadians are actually thinking about. I think they would have got way farther ahead, some of them, considering the only options we have are people that really want to push carbon tax. If you don't know what carbon tax is, they started taxing our gas, and it's only supposed to get more expensive. So literally the headline of this entire political debate was, do you want carbon tax or do you don't want carbon tax? And if you do want carbon tax, how much do you want to pay? Because we got options, baby. If you're voting on, depending on the party, they're going to be increasing that number. So, I mean, it's nothing entertaining. It's nothing like intellectually engaging. It's just kind of a joke. And That's what I always think of Canadian politics. I wish there were proper people in place and there was a better system in place to help better regulate the system. And I mean, Trudeau's been battered through his whole career, but honestly, you can poke the finger at the guy up there, but at the same time, he has to deal with a ton of different party members. I mean, they have to go to court and deal with all this stuff as well. It's not like one guy just makes all of these decisions. He's just representative of the party, the Liberal Party, right? Of one of the parties, you know, like we got Liberals, Conservatives, the People's Party, the Green Party, and they're all kind of just the same basic thing. It's kind of like in the US, you kind of got your lefts and your rights, but you're all fighting for the same cause. But like I said, man, I just wish somebody would care more about the actual problems Canadians are facing and helping fix those problems instead of bandaging them up with, like, again, lower interest rates, all of these weird programs that are coming out to basically help you overpay for a house. I think they're just building the bubble here, and nobody ever talks about that. So I mean, I'm glad I can at least pop an opinion in here. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed this quick video today, just something a little different. Stay cool, stay awesome. I look forward to chatting to you guys real soon.
He had such a huge opportunity to put Canada at the forefront on energy, on all kinds of materials, on precious metals, on everything with China, and we're selling them lobsters.